Hey folks, James Dickens with Paratus Defense. Today we're going to talk about the Remington 870, a classic 12 gauge pump shotgun, and kind of how I set mine up. So this is the shotgun. What I did, this is basically out of the box. I didn't do any kind of trigger job or real mods. I did add a Attack Star side saddle, which holds 6 rounds. You can put them in from the top or from the bottom. I've got Hornady Critical Defense double-aught buckshot, and then I bought one of these cheek pads that also holds another 5 rounds. It has a zip pocket here that you keep stuff in it. I don't keep anything in there except maybe some earplugs, something like that. When I have this in my closet, when I have this thing in storage or just in the truck or whatever, I usually do not keep any rounds in the tube unless I know that I'm going to be going and shooting the shotgun. And the reason for that is nothing other than, it's not really safety, it's just that I don't want to wear down the magazine tube spring, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to take some shots here in a second. If you're unfamiliar with how the pump shotgun works, basically you put in your shells from the bottom to load it. I believe this model holds 6 plus 1, so 6 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. You load it, get the tube full, and then you rack it to load it and get it hot, okay? And I have already put 5 in there, so now I think there's 6 plus 1 in here. So we're going to take some shots here at a couple of these water jugs and some paper, and just see how this thing patterns. Now today I'm not going to be shooting double-aught buckshot, not self-defense rounds. I'm just going to be shooting some bird shot. A lot of people will argue that you have to shoot double-aught buck or slugs or something like that in a self-defense situation. I don't necessarily agree with that. If the guy's close enough and you shoot him with some bird shot, you are messing up his day, okay? So if you can't afford the expensive stuff, get yourself a $5 box of bird shot and, get your shotgun home and get the thing ready to go. All right, so let's take some shots at these water jugs and hit some paper, maybe hit some steel targets or something, and just see what happens. Okay guys, Remington 870, 12 gauge pump shotgun. That's pretty much it.
Okay folks, one last look at the Remington 870 12 gauge pump shotgun. Now, I've been saying for years, every household needs to have one of these. Now, for some folks, 12 gauge may be a little too powerful. They do make these in 20 gauge and 410 as well. 410 is not so good for home defense, but for hunting, birds and squirrels and stuff like that, that's a pretty good option. 20 gauge is also decent as long as you have some good self-defense rounds. But 12 gauge, for me, definitely the way to go. Again, the way I have this set up, 6 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, 6 on the side in the Attack Star side saddle, and 5 in the back on the cheek rest. Okay, so we're looking at a total of 18 rounds of double-aught buckshot, or slugs, or whatever it is that you want to carry. Now, for some reason, if you don't feel like 18 rounds is enough, first of all, you probably need to not be in that situation. You need to get the hell out of there. If you can't solve a problem with 18 rounds of double-aught buckshot or slugs, you need to be calling the SWAT team or something, okay? Now, if it's an extreme situation, if there's rioters in the street or, the Chinese parachute into your neighborhood and there's a Red Dawn situation or something crazy, then, you may want to up the ante. Okay, in which case you can do something like this. You can get a Claymore bag for 20 bucks and fill it like I did with 100 rounds of double-aught buckshot. With 100 plus 18, 118 rounds of double-aught buckshot or self-defense rounds or slugs, you are a formidable fighting force. So, again, you can pick these up for $200-300 depending on whether you get used or new. I just think everybody should have one of these. They're fun. It's a great way to train. It's a pretty cheap way to shoot still. Being that 22s are impossible to find, for a decent price. 9mm are decent right now, 45s are okay, but still, 12 gauge, you can go to Walmart for $24. You can get 100 rounds of 12 gauge and go out and shoot water bottles, balloons, you shoot clays, you do whatever you want with them and have a really fun day in the woods. Again, James Dickens, Paratus Defense, signing off. Check out our other videos on YouTube.